Okay, hopefully I can get the second video done in less than 15 minutes. So sorry, we were just talking about loyalty programs, and here's a snapshot of some of the membership numbers for different hotel loyalty programs from 2014 to 2015, and some of the increases in the number of subscribers to it. You know, you've talked $4 million for choice privileges. That's a big increase in 1 year. Very beneficial to hotels because those clients are just going to pay off in the long term. So service loyalty classification, what this chart is telling us is that when we have high loyalty and high attitude towards our company, it's going to create a high repeat customer base. You know, they're less motivated to even look for alternatives. So they're not price comparing. They're not, comparing a number of other factors once they're happy with your brand. They're also likely to pass on positive word of mouth. But when you have low patronage or low loyalty to your company, you're going to see the low repeat purchase. So they're going to see differences, not few differences between the brands. So your brand is not going to stand out. They're going to see you just the same as anyone else, so they can go stay there. They don't see a difference when they're in this quadrant from the Holiday Inn to the Best Western. So here's a snapshot. I love this snapshot. This golf and safari resort sounds fantastic in South Africa. Probably helps that it's one of the top places in the world I want to visit. But I like what this company has done, especially in a country such as this. They, they're getting to the heart of a customer relationship management. They're focusing on customer preferences. It's in their strategy. It's in the DNA of the company. So corporate relationships are linked to the management strategies, to those customer relationship management strategies. They have dedicated guest relation managers and frontline employee feedback. So they're getting feedback from the employees to the managers, from the customers to the employees or managers. They host its most valued corporate visitors, tour operators, and even VIP individual at special events. They make people that are important to them feel important to them by inviting them there for other events. Another aspect of their service is to train and employ local people. Very important in a country like Africa where it doesn't have a strong economy in some of these areas that the hotels are in, that they need to employ local people. It also gives all the visitors from out of country that more of an authentic experience, I think, as well, which is quite neat. So the benefits of relationship marketing, you have high perceived value. You get what you get should exceed your give. The rewards for loyalty. So these are the customer loyalty incentives. Company benefits, it's higher profits through retaining customers. They have more purchases overall and more frequent purchases. So this is what I was talking before about why retaining customers is so profitable for companies. They have more purchases and they make more frequent purchases. There's lower operating costs and no acquisition costs. Increased in company referrals as well. So huge benefits to invest in relationship marketing for any company. Here's a few more of the benefits. There's benefits to the company, which are all these listed here, and there's benefits to the customer. What company doesn't want free advertising from word of mouth? When you have a loyal customer and they're advertising for you, that's way more valuable than any paid advertising that you can do. So benefits to the customer is that they're enjoying their product. They have confidence and trust in what you're providing. That's going to be good for them, as well as that they can recommend it to other people because they have that confidence. So how do we target these profitable customers? We're building and improving on traditional segmentation. So the way it was done before is not the way that companies are targeting clients now. They're much more intuitive, and they have much more of a a much better capacity to analyze the data of who they want to keep, how they're coming to them, all of those different things. And that's where the market research that we discussed last chapter is so valuable to these companies. They're studying loyalty versus the defection prone customers, those defectors, the ones that take away from the value of their brand or their product. They identify profitable bands or groups of people. They identify customers that are most likely to remain loyal. They develop overall strategies around these customers. They target with retention strategies. Other customers, too costly to retain, little potential to become profitable. So they're not looking at those other customers, they're focusing on that loyalty. It has been said, this is a study from, well, it says 2000, it's been done for years. I think the first study this was done was probably in 90, it doesn't say in the text here, but it was 1999, I think. The 80% of your profit is going to come from 20% of your customers. So that top 20% of your customers is what makes you the most profitable. If you can get that 20% to spend more money in your business, then you have a higher chance at better profitability. So that 20% segment tends to spend more over time. They cost less to maintain. It's a lot cheaper to throw them a bottle of wine and make them happy and talk to all their friends about the great experience they had than to go and advertise to all of their friends. They spread positivity from word of mouth. Other customers. So the cost, the other customers, they cost you a lot of time. They're not loyal to you. They cost a lot of effort and money. It doesn't provide the same return, and it's difficult to do business with. Oftentimes, the defectors, I think they call them in the book, or I really like how FedEx actually categorized their clients. I don't know if you read that on chapter or page 150. They categorize their business customers as the good, the bad, and the ugly based on their profitability. So who do you think you want to focus on when you categorize your clients that way? The good, your most profitable ones. If you've got that dialed in and nailed down, you don't think you can do any more, where are you going to go? You're going to go to the bad, which is this middle, and then to the ugly at the bottom. But you don't want to spend a lot of time in there because of what it costs you. So managing loyalty and profitability, another great graph that they have here. This is adapted from a textbook or from a text in 2009, but it talks about, the butterflies, how they can contribute to your profitability. They have the true friends that have the ability to contribute to your profitability. Then you have the strangers and the barnacles. You don't want to focus on these, on this strangers where you have low loyalty, where they have the lowest potential to help you earn profits. And you don't want to focus on cultivating that relationship with these customers. But you do want to ensure from every transaction you get profits from them. So the barnacles, they show little potential to contribute profits. There are some my speech is terrible today. Implications for managers to look at. These customers, they're a drain on resources, but converting them to profitable ones involves, measuring size and share of the wallet. But there are some companies, and they talk about it in the text of casinos, how, some of these people, as their income gets higher, they do become more beneficial to a company. So you can't write them off. You can't not service them. You just don't want to spend your bulk of your time and your resources on that area. This is where they were talking about the casino customer segment. So you have, they segment their customers a lot different than what most industries do. They're hugely looking at profitability, but they're also looking at, what they can do with the customers, where they're going to go in the future. So they do have to make sure that they're still available to every group or quadrant, but they're probably not going to spend a lot of time and money on retaining them. The the casino industry is very well known for their use of something we talked about earlier in the chapter with those 4 levels of relationship marketing. They're very good at creating a structural bond with their higher end clients, and having that joint investment with them with their own company credit cards, and they have loyalty systems, and they create these bonds with different events, and they do customize some of the products to each of those high value customers. They talk in the textbook about the value of a casino customer, rather than it being 80-20, where 80% of their money comes from 20%, they actually said, I'm going to say it was 97-3. Where did it go? It's huge. I've never seen this statistic before, but it was quite neat. Oh yes, 90. One study of casino patrons found that a mere 3% of table game customers can generate approximately 90% of all table revenues. Wow. So 3% of their customers bring in 90% of their revenue. So those customers are the ones that are getting those nice fancy rooms in the top of the hotels. Okay, just about done here. The case study that's at the end of the chapter, unfortunately, I didn't really get a ton from it. I do like what they're looking at in terms of the increase in, events for African Americans and such with the hotels and the ski resorts, but as far as any questions for the homework, there won't be any questions on this one. But it's just to say that you can't ignore any demographic that your company is faced with. If you're going to be, having a significant number of African American travelers visit your company, you've got to figure out what they like, how they like it. It's something we talked about a few chapters ago, in order to ensure that they do have that customer satisfaction, because they are going to tell their friends. Some companies have spotted the opportunity, Embassy Suites and Homewood Suites by Hilton, and then they talk about the National Brotherhood of Skiers, where they go around to different resorts. But anyways, that's it for this week. So we are done the Serving It Right. We're done WHMIS. We're doing the Food Safe next in the next 2 weeks here. And if you're doing the Food Safe from whatever city you're in, I know we have a number of people in Surrey right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 I've heard of so far are in Surrey. There's a few of you I haven't heard whether you're writing the exam with me in the lab or if you're going to be completing it elsewhere. Please let me know. Yeah, if you're writing the exam in another city, you need to have it done by October 28th. And if you're writing the exam here, once we get the lab booked, we'll make sure and get you your materials. I'm not sure where the manual is for Food Safe, but we'll get you something on a PDF so that you can study for that exam. And then the last one we're going to do is the Superhost exam. It's quite simple. That one won't be a challenge at all. The Food Safe will kind of be the only one that we have to really do some work with, because we got deadlines with trying to write that exam. But the Superhost one will be online as far as I know, and you won't need to come in for that. So hopefully that doesn't change. So for next week, you got chapter 8 you got to read, and we'll go over it. And there is the homework questions, which I'm going to try to load into another slide so you can answer it right in the document. So you can just send me that document, as a lot of people have just gone different methods on that. So anyways, have a great week. I hope Thanksgiving was good and you got either a day off or something enjoyable. Looks like the snow's coming this week, so make sure and get ready for winter here in Prince George. And have a great week, guys. Bye.